What's your lamest accomplishment that you're proud of? My little league baseball team went a whole season undefeated. I played left bench. Better than right field. At least you could watch. I played right field in 2nd grade. The ball came to me literally one time, and I was looking at dandelions because I just assumed it would never come towards me. Then I threw it halfway to the closest player and they got a triple. I park in a parking garage every morning 3 levels down from the entrance. I finally made it all the way down all of the ramps without my blinker turning off once. One wild spiraling turn from floor to floor. While actually not hard, the success of it was actually still underwhelming. And I'd been trying every day for weeks. In elementary school, if it was too cold during winter to go outside, then we'd have indoor recess where we played board games or computer games or whatever. Throughout the entirety of 4th and 5th grade, I had a 2-year, undefeated Connect 4 streak. I didn't lose once. I was a frickin' legend. Fun fact, Connect 4 is a strongly solved game. That is, by going first and playing perfectly, you can always win. In 5th grade, one was the king of kickball in that game. We had a competition with the entire 5th grade and I won. I got bunch of perks, like being able to take my teacher's comfy chair for an entire day, no homework day, etc. I had 2 classes watch me battle this other kid, Muhammad. Man, I kicked his booty. Edit, sorry for the confusion, I beat him in 24, not kickball. Although me and 2 friends would often take on the 20 other kids in my class in kickball and always win. I was probably the jerkiest 5th grader now that I look back on it. I thought I was hot Swifty stuff, then middle school happened and it was all downhill from there. 1. Battle Muhammad. 2, ? 3. Profit, I have more comment karma than any user on Reddit. Yeah, well, once I replied to a comment made by the person with the highest comment karma on Reddit. So yeah, well, once I replied to a comment and then got gold. I once typed the entire alphabet in sequential order in less than 2 seconds after about a week of practice. I was top 10 on the world in Mario Kart. Then people started hacking, sitting on a bed, jazz hit the ceiling. Whoa, bunk beds don't count. There is no place on my back I can't scratch. Same. Long arms represent. I don't even know if this counts as an accomplishment, but my senior year of high school I strategically organized sick days well enough that I didn't have to attend a single full 5-day week the entire year. That's just awesome. I went to the gym today. I didn't want to, but I did. Edit, just wanted to say, I usually go to the gym 4 to 5 times a week and not every day I look forward to going. Today in particular, coming off a 3-day weekend full of beer and barbecue, finding the motivation to go was tough. I ran a mile after eating a bag of potato chips and not exercising in forever. Instant regret. 2 years ago I actually finished a book. Here's the start of the story. When I was 6 at the time and in grade school I hated reading. I had problems as well, aka was in a special reading class. From then till I was 17 in my junior year I was in the reading class and hated reading even more. At the age of 20 and out of school I moved to NY to help my aunt with my sick uncle. She had no internet for 4 months, so I got bored out of my mind. It was Harry Potter that helped start it all. I'm getting a Death Eater's tattoo to remind me that now, after reading almost 300 books, or so that I enjoy reading and overcome my problem, Harry Potter books are my favorite no matter what. Lame, I know, but I choke up every time I try to explain it. Edit, the 20-year to 6. Also would like to clear things up. From the age of 6 until I was 17 I was in intensive reading, and this was in Florida. I hated reading at the time because I could never retain any information at all after rereading each time. FCAT tests were not my friend at all, and that's how I ended up in these classes and really hurt my self-esteem since my friends knew I had trouble and sometimes classmates made fun of me. Also English class until I was in my junior year I hated. My senior year I took English honors and passed all year with an A. Tomorrow I'll be posting the tattoo on the tattoo sub around 8 p.m. or whenever it's finished. Once I beat my teacher in checkers so we wouldn't have homework that night. He had less work to do so he won too. Finishing a chapstick I quit smoking. Non-smokers always said, why don't you just stop, which made it seem pretty lame to them, but I think it's pretty cool. It was 5th grade. All 30 of us were sitting down as our teacher told us to quiet down. We had a special guest. I don't remember her name, but she was a public defender, and she told us we'd be having a mock trial and a trip to the real-life courthouse and would have the trial in a real-life courtroom. My cool Aunt Rachel with cool hair and a nose piercing was going to law school, and I knew it was my time to shine. I was gonna be cool like Rachel. It was a silly little case, about a stolen cookie, and the whole thing was scripted. Except the closing arguments. Only 2 people would get to do those. I wanted it. When we got assigned parts, I got the prosecutor part, and this guy Chris got the defender part. Fricking Chris. I cannot explain how much we constantly wanted to outdo each other. Thought he was so smart. He was my 5th grade nemesis, and stuff was about to get real. I went into ultra-competitive mode. I found a loophole that destroyed the defense. On the day of the trial, I remember we dressed nice. I wore the dress I normally reserved for visiting my grandma, a cardigan and brand new ballet flats. They had sparkles so clearly I was there to kick booty. We walked into the courthouse and the trial began. Like I said, it was scripted so Chris couldn't spring any surprises on me. He gave his closing argument. It was good. He said his client didn't steal the cookie and that a dog had eaten it. Guess what, loser? That cookie was a double chocolate chip cookie. Dogs can't eat chocolate. I annihilated Chris, and won the verdict. Everyone told me I did so well. I was so proud of myself. Chris went to a different middle school and I forgot about our ongoing battle of wits, and the intellectual bloodbath of our cookie trial. But junior year of high school he came back to the school I was going to. One day we were sitting in class quietly working. He looked over and said, "Hey, remember that trial in 5th grade? Yeah. I should have won. Your arguments were non-Swifty stuff. I could have argued back if they let me. I beat him so bad he was still mad 6 years later. Gotta say, that kid can hold a grudge." I burped, coughed, and hiccuped all at the same time. I was impressed until everyone said I was disgusting. "Did you die?" I taught my cat to fetch. Then he ran away. He said he was going out for a pack of sticks and never came back. I beat the Shadow Dragon in Baldur's Gate 2 with fairly low-level characters and I got so excited that I jumped out of my computer chair and did a hard fist pump. I fist pumped so hard that I pulled a muscle in my back. I had a date that night. It was a first date. I told her exactly why I was gimping around with a pulled lat muscle instead of lying to her. There was no second date. I had to abandon a first date midway through as my crotch was itching something fierce. My ex had washed some clothes for me and sent them back, not realizing that I was allergic to biological washing powder. It wasn't malicious. Unfortunately, that's exactly what I told the date. Yeah. No second date here either. I was in my 20s throughout the 90s and I don't have a tribal tattoo. I joined the army as an infantryman in 2000 at age 18 and a couple years later I got out without any tattoos, a used car from a buy here, pay here lot with a massive interest rate, or a fat wife. I'm 26 and I quit drinking 6 months ago. Maybe that makes me lame, but my life is awesome now. I never thought I could make it a week, much less half a year. While playing a game of Jenga with my friends at my 13th birthday party, we reached a pivotal moment where there was one layer with only one block in the middle holding up the tower. Feeling good, and cocky, I decided to go for the gold. I tentatively grabbed the edge of the block, and my friends gasped. I don't know what I was thinking. I took a breath and yanked that sucker out. The tower tilted to the side, then the other, then stopped moving. Everyone screamed. It was amazing, no one could believe their eyes. I jumped up and knocked over the tower. I'm not sure if it was an accident or on purpose, and we all gleefully talked about how awesome I was. It was fantastic. On most birthdays since then, 2 of the friends I still talk to from then mention it, and it reaffirms me that I didn't just make it up, and that I am the Jenga master. I drew a perfect circle once. But no one saw. No one believes. Having a great credit score of 818 is pretty lame without having any significant savings to put as a down payment on things. All I can get are low rates on credit cards, which I have enough of already. I've had cancer twice so far and appear to be cancer-free at the moment. It's a huge double-edged sword that I currently can't seem to get a handle on as to how much I should be embracing my own survivorship and how much I should be humbled by those who have had far more daunting experiences with their own cancer encounters. In the early stages of my treatments, I was truly inspired by some of the people who had already traveled down the path that I was headed. By the time I was less than halfway through, I knew that the only way to get to the end was a way that I'd have to choose for myself. After 2 trips down the cancer hobbit hole, I'm disease-free at the moment. I'll continue to get checked on a frequent basis and hope nothing changes in this area. In kindergarten, my meanie art teacher told us no kid could beat an adult at tic-tac-toe. He proceeded to have all the students come to the board and play him. He beat everyone and was clearly enjoying it. When my turn came, I beat him, everyone cheered. I refused to play him a second time. Ha 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 he 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 ha. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to Reddit Said It. Or don't, I'm not your boss.